Picture a glowing neon sign shouting, "All you can eat," as the scent of sizzling steaks drifts through the air, mingling with the clatter of tongs against metal bowls and the hum of excited chatter. This was Sizzler Australia in its heyday. A carnival of endless salad bar delights, cheddar-smothered potatoes stacked like mini mountains, and shrimp cocktails bathed in their signature orange sauce. Families made an art of plundering every station, kids challenged one another to mac and cheese marathons, and parents reveled in the sheer value of it all. But by November 2020, that carnival packed up its tents for good. 9 restaurants from Brisbane to Perth locked their doors, leaving behind silent booths and darkened grills. So how did an empire built on bottomless feasts implode so spectacularly? Strap in, cause the story of Sizzler's rise, tumble, and bittersweet one-night comeback is juicier than any steak off the grill. In the 1980s and 90s, Sizzler was the grand finale of every suburban outing. You'd breeze in after the matinee, dodge the joystick clatter at the arcade, and slide into a mint green booth under buzzing neon lights. Before you stood the legendary salad bar, flaunting kaleidoscopic coleslaw mountains, mystery jellies in every shade imaginable, piles of croutons ready for crunch, and prawn cocktails grinning back at you like edible gemstones. Servers navigated aisles with plate stacks so high they flirted with gravity. Each visit felt like a riot of flavors and possibilities, a guarantee that ordinary weekends would end with extraordinary satisfaction. By the time you reached the dessert station, there was no shame in sampling everything, because at Sizzler, indulgence was the point. For decades, Sizzler anchored birthday blowouts, charity fundraisers, and milestone celebrations. Local schools and sports clubs sold buffet tickets like hotcakes. Grill masters, dubbed the Sizzle Squad, earned near rockstar status for their perfectly seared sirloins, while patrons memorized the exact location of the extra crispy croutons. Yet, by 2015, whispers of trouble echoed through the neon-lit halls. Collins Foods, which operated Sizzler in Australia, tagged the chain non-core in a performance review, a corporate euphemism that spelled trouble. The decor felt as dated as dusty textbooks. Mint booths, swirling patterned carpet, and light fixtures that looked like UFO crash debris. Meanwhile, hip new cafes sprouted avocado toasts, cold-pressed juices, and poke bowls engineered for Instagram fame. Sizzler tried minor menu tweaks, sweet potato mash here, a tangy dressing there, but these felt like polite coughs in a thunderstorm of food trends. As global produce and steak prices crept upward, the buffet cost to diners edged higher, leaving loyal patrons wondering if they were paying more for the same old experience. Then, in early 2020, a far deadlier force stormed through the hospitality world: COVID-19. Suddenly, buffets were public health nightmares. How do you keep guests 6 feet apart when the whole concept hinges on communal tongs and sneeze guards? Plexiglass shields and hand sanitizer stations sprouted up, but they clipped the wings of the freewheeling buffet vibe. Government-mandated lockdowns in Sydney, Brisbane, and Perth shuttered dine-in services for months on end. Meanwhile, delivery and takeaway, a lifeline for many restaurants during this time, were not quite designed with buffets in mind. There was no slick way to box up all you can eat without leaving customers feeling shortchanged. As supply chains buckled and staff were furloughed, the cracks in Sizzler's foundation widened into chasms. By July 2020, Collins Foods stared down a grim ledger: underperforming outlets, costly retrofits needed to meet new health protocols, and slim prospects for recapturing lapsed customers. The decision landed like a gut punch. 9 remaining restaurants would close their doors by November 30th. For communities that had relied on Sizzler as a gathering spot, the news was surreal. Longtime managers who'd spent decades flipping steaks and corralling buffet lines found themselves hanging closed signs in empty windows. Patrons flooded social media with tearful farewells, sharing snapshots of first dates over prawns and high school graduation dinners fueled by bottomless salad bars. While many grasped that the pandemic had expedited Sizzler's demise, The reality was that the chain had been limping for years, shackled by dated branding and a business model that no longer matched evolving tastes. Sizzler's fall reflected seismic shifts in dining culture. The rise of health-conscious eating upended the indulgence economy. Suddenly, kale smoothies, matcha lattes, and poke bowls promised both wellness and shareable visuals, while buffets were criticized for encouraging waste and overportioning. The so-called experience economy placed a premium on curated dining moments, chef-led tasting menus, bespoke cocktails, and dishes engineered for social feeds. Endless steak and salad combos now felt pedestrian if not irresponsible. Global chains like Salad Works and fast casual spots mastered the formula of fresh, customizable bowls delivered in minutes. Against that backdrop, Sizzler's static buffet model looked like a grand old ship too cumbersome to navigate modern waters. But every great story has a surprise twist, and for Sizzler, it was nostalgia bringing the brand back to life. In July 2024, nearly 4 years after the final grill went cold, Brisbane hosted a one-night-only Sizzler pop-up wonderland. Neon signs blinked, retro booths reappeared, and amid disco ball reflections, servers in vintage uniforms invited wristband holders to rediscover cheddar-smothered potatoes, chair-rattling ribs, and the legendary salad bar. Millennials armed with childhood photos rubbed shoulders with Gen Z foodies curious about a 90s myth. Social feeds exploded with hashtag Sizzler returns and hashtag allyoucansizz as attendees lapped up shrimp cocktails and chocolate mousse with the fervor of archaeologists uncovering ancient treasure. Despite the frenzy, company spokespeople underscored that this was no relaunch. It was a lovingly crafted time capsule, a final bow for a brand that once dominated the buffet universe. So, what lessons simmer beneath Sizzler's sudden downfall and brief phoenix moment? First, nostalgia alone can't sustain a brand. Without constant reinvention, even the most cherished names can fade. Renovated interiors, fresh menu innovations, and an engaging digital presence are non-negotiable ingredients in today's recipe for success. Second, adaptability is your lifeline. When market forces shift, restaurants must pivot swiftly. Third, alignment with the parent company's broader strategy can make or break you. Collins Foods chose to double down on fast turnaround franchises like KFC, Taco Bell, and Pizza Hut. Sizzler simply didn't fit the playbook. Finally, listening to your customers is crucial. While die-hard fans mourned the loss of bottomless salad, many also craved modern twists. Plant-based proteins at the self-serve bar, smaller curated platters for table service, or interactive chef stations that melded buffet convenience with bespoke experience. Even in closure, Sizzler Australia's cultural imprint remains indelible. Online forums and Facebook groups buzz with remember when threads debating the crispiest crouton recipe or the optimal steak to salad ratio. Google searches for Sizzler menu spike whenever a nostalgia piece surfaces, proving that the chain still lives in collective memory. Former staff trade war stories, from the holiday rush marathons to the midnight salad bar restocks, reminding everyone that the real magic of Sizzler lay not just in the food, but in the shared moments around each booth. The laughter, the friendly tugs of war over the last cheddar wedge, the triumphant grin after conquering the dessert station, these are the legacies that outlast closed doors. At its core, Sizzler's story is a vivid illustration of how swiftly consumer values can shift beneath a brand's feet. A buffet empire built on infinite abundance can collapse under the weight of dated decor, static menus, and unaddressed changes in taste and health priorities. Yet, the echoes of those bottomless salad adventures and perfectly seared steaks still reverberate through suburban streets and social feeds, a testament to the power of shared experiences. Next time you spot a neon all-you-can-eat sign, spare a thought for Sizzler Australia, the buffet pioneer whose final sizzle resonated far beyond its last locked door. But what do you think? Let us know your thoughts in the comments section below and let's discuss. And if you enjoyed this story, give us a thumbs up, hit subscribe, and don't forget to ring that bell so you never miss out on more deep dives like this. Thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, stay curious.